Welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan and I'll be your pilot tonight. Boys, today is going to be a therapy session. I'm going to do my own little monologue for the first half hour. We're going to start call-ins at 8:30. I want to hear all your opinions. Let me have it, boys. I want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly. I really want to emphasize some good because I am losing my mind. I legitimately did not sleep much last night. I think I got 2 hours of sleep. I was just distraught. Absolutely crushed by everything we witnessed yesterday. Guys, I do have a question of the day. So we're going to do a question of the day. Someone is going to win a Just End the Suffering shirt. For those of you interested in winning a Just End the Suffering shirt, or if you just want to answer the question of the day, there is a pinned comment in the live chat as well as in the description down below. What do the Jets do now, assuming they don't get the number one overall pick? We have a few different options. Looks like 67 of you guys have already jumped in on that vote, so make sure you cast your vote there, and I'll be raffling off a shirt at the end of this live stream. We're going to get into the Jets draft prospects. We're going to get into what the Jets do with this number 2 overall pick, what we do in free agency, what's the plan with Sam, how do we feel about this win or loss. Just a lot of stuff to get into. And I'm not real happy. I had to drive into work today. Let me just drop this music down a little bit. Bam! Turn it off. So I had to go into work today. I always listen to sports radio on my way in. I listen to ESPN New York. And guess what's leading the way on every single segment? It's all over ESPN. It's all over the airwaves. As soon as I run into my friends at work, the first thing they say to me, I'm so sorry. My friend bought me a breakfast sandwich today because he was so sad for me. Like, my phone literally blew up with text messages last night. And Becca's in the bedroom, like, hiding underneath the covers because I'm cursing up a storm the entire time. Boys. And any girls that are out there. This franchise hates us. We're not. This is why we don't have nice things. Ugh. All right, so let me get into some of my thoughts about the game. I'll give you guys George Safer. Thank you so much for the €1 super chat. He says, from England, how can we build around a quarterback who is at the end of his rookie contract when he is cuffed with throwing, or if he's chuffed with throwing for 220 yards? That's going to be a huge discussion we're going to get into. And I'm not sure if we can. The rookie contract is huge. The Sam being at the end of it. There's going to be guys on both sides of this fence. And I'm not honestly entirely sure where I fall on this subject. But let's talk a little bit about yesterday's game. So you guys saw my top 5 takeaways. And after having a night to kind of digest my feelings on everything, I have a few thoughts. So my anger is not so much with the Jets. Like, it sucks. I would say I'm more upset with the Rams. After watching Seattle fall asleep on the Giants, you would think the Rams would not have fallen asleep on us. Now, I would think the Giants have a better shot at winning, than us, just because, we are what we were the first 13 weeks of the season. But yeah, this is, I'm upset at the Rams. Definitely a little bit at Goff, but a lot at Sean McVay. Like, the end of this game, you have a 55-yard field goal attempt. 3rd and 4. You are running the ball like crazy down our throats. As soon as Quinnen Williams came out of this game, you were able to run at will. And at one point, they scored a touchdown, and we thought we had saved it. We thought we were fine. And then the holding penalty came in. And it brought it back. And it was a hold. It was genuinely a hold. I'm not upset with the call. It sucks that it was made, but it was absolutely the right call. He would not have scored a touchdown without that hold. But then we see a 3rd and 4. And it's like, not a Hail Mary, but it's a deep pass. And I was like, all right, that's kind of weird. It's all right, well, let's see what they do on 4th down. They're going to kick it. They're going to kick it. Oh, they don't kick it. All right, so what's going to happen? Oh, we're going to go for it. All right, well, cool. So, 4 yards. They can get 4 yards. They have plenty of, Robert Woods has been kind of dicing us up all game. Cooper Kupp's great. And then they throw another bomb. And I'm just at a loss. My arms just went to the side, and I was like, I cannot believe those were the calls. Like, this is an offensive genius. Like, the McVay has been heralded as one of the up-and-coming offensive coaches in this league, and he blew it. He absolutely blew it. Rams fans are not quite as mad as Jet fans, but Jet fans are pretty mad. Or Rams fans, I'm sorry, are pretty mad. What gets me about this game, more than just the win and losing out on Trevor Lawrence, is because we won this game, we gave Seattle the division. It's not 100% lock, but it's basically there. Seattle basically has the division at this point, which means we have now hurt not only our first overall pick, but our 25th, 26th, whatever overall pick, because now Seattle has home field advantage for at least one of their playoff games. And I don't see Seattle winning the Super Bowl. I think their defense is too bad. So we're not going to be picking, 30, 31, 32. But this win knocked us back even further with that. And you know what? Adam Gase, Sam Darnold, they're all getting the last laugh. We were all hitching our bandwagon to Trevor Lawrence. I know I was. I knew it wasn't a sure thing. I thought it must have been more of a Week 17 thing that I had to be worried about. I did not think we had anything to be worried about in yesterday's game. Kills me. Absolutely kills me. And then I go online today, and I'm looking at the Jets players and all their comments. I see Henry Anderson saying, oh, it's one of the best wins we've ever had. I'm saying, well, Henry Anderson, you can shut up. You're not going to be here next year. We're cutting your ass. So I was like, whatever. Then I see Adam Gase. Oh, this is, a great win. People upset that Frank Gore got the final pass. Well, he's a real football player, knew where to get the ball to. Frank Gore's 37 years old. You got to be kidding me. And I see Mekhi Becton come out. And Mekhi Becton says, fans that are rooting for losses are not real fans. Mekhi Becton, I love you. You are the big ticket. You are the future of this franchise. But if you guys, the players, the coaches, if you guys don't go 0-13, I'm not rooting for a loss. This is on you guys. Don't put this on me. You guys forced me to root this way. I want what's best for my team. And the best thing for my team right now would have been to get that number 1 overall pick, to select Trevor Lawrence, to get the head coach we want. Because right now, we are not an attractive landing spot at all. This flipped so much in such a very brief amount of time. You're talking, okay, we have the prospects of getting Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 overall pick, all the draft capital, all the cap space, all that stuff, and then in one fell swoop, the quarterback's gone. The head coach is gone. The free agents that would have come with that head coach and knowing we had the number 1 overall pick in Trevor Lawrence are gone. Like, now owning number 2, you may say you're taking a quarterback at 2, or they may think you're taking a quarterback at 2, but you're not trading Sam Darnold until the draft. If that. We don't even know if we may hold on to Sam Darnold. Who knows? So head coaching wise, what are we looking at? Cowher and Harbaugh? Goodbye. Not even an option. I'd be shocked. Shocked if either one of those was an option at this point. So now with those top 2 guys out of the way, now we're talking, okay, take your pick. It's either the Jags or the Chargers are going to be one of the 2 best head coaching jobs. Now that's assuming Anthony Lynn gets fired. He's not fired yet, so maybe that doesn't come into play. I know a lot of people that are upset with Anthony Lynn. I think he deserves more than just this year. I think he deserves to come back. So hopefully that turns out to be the case. The Jaguars, definitely a better landing spot than us. They have more cap space than us. They have better draft picks than us. Like, we had the highest point total in terms of draft capital when we owned the first pick. But the Jaguars still had more draft picks, if I'm not mistaken, or at least had more higher draft picks overall. So now, with us winning this game, that flips. We no longer have the most draft assets. You have the Jags with the most cap space. They're going to be able to attract a great head coach. Someone's going to want to work with Trevor Lawrence. So that's 2. We're at best 3rd now. When you're looking at the Jets situation and you're looking at the Texans situation, do you like Sam Darnold or do you like Deshaun Watson more? Or do you like Deshaun Watson or the number 2 pick more? Like if you love Justin Fields or Zach Wilson or, Trey Lance, someone like that, then okay, maybe you come in at number 2 and you say, hey, look, I don't need Trevor Lawrence. I can work with this. I hope that's the case. Watson's good. Sam Darnold, I love the guy. I wish he was absolutely a terrible, terrible person because I genuinely like him a lot, and this would be a lot easier if he was like an asshole like Jay Cutler or someone like that. Now the Jets are looking at like the 4th best head coach, possibly. Then you start looking a little bit more. All right, well, what about the Falcons? Are the Falcons a better landing spot than the Jets right now? We've got a lot of offensive firepower. They have things they got to work on for sure. Don't get me wrong. It's interesting. Interesting things to talk about. So what do we do with Sam? Do we hold on to Sam? Do we just hitch our wagon to him? I don't want to do that. At least not in the sense of like, hey, we are keeping him. Like I'd rather us go into this, try to get the head coach, and say to the head coach, hey, look, you think you can fix Sam Darnold? Or you like Sam Darnold enough to hold on to him? You think you know what he does good, what he does well, and we could win with this? Okay. If Joe Douglas believes it, if the new head coach believes it, okay. You know what? I can think about this. I can ride with this. I can understand that. I do not want to handcuff our head coaching search by forcing whatever head coach it is to take Sam Darnold. The new head coach should be selected based on merit, should be selected based on that person wanting to come here, which I can get into in a second with Trevor Lawrence, because I think there's something that, I don't want to say I can't call it a silver lining. It's not a silver lining. There's part of me that thinks that Trevor Lawrence is happy this way. I think he wants to be down in Jacksonville. If you had to choose between us and Jacksonville, they're basically the same in terms of draft assets, cap space, getting a desirable head coach, but it's closer to home for him. Does he seem like a big city guy? He doesn't. Now, I do think he would play for us if we had the number 1 overall pick, and I would love that. That's big time. But part of me, just like Buffalo, when I watch Buffalo, I see this. I see them go out and they get a quarterback that sort of embodies what that city is. Like when I look at Josh Allen, I think that guy's going to jump through a table. He seems like a cold weather guy. He's got the big hands, the rocket for an arm that you need in the cold weather. We got Sam Darnold. Like, I like Sam. Sam's a Southern California kid. He was in his element yesterday, playing back in LA. Is he the guy moving forward? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's what's tough for me, because like I'm looking at this. Sam has had a horrible first 3 years in this league. Like we're talking bad, like a very bad first 3 years. And there's been injuries, and there's been issues. It's not all on Sam. It's certainly I would believe the majority of our hate towards this franchise right now is going to be with Adam Gase, with Mike McCagden, with John Idzik, with Todd Bowles, guys that did not develop talent or did not draft well in the the years leading up to Sam getting here. There's no reason this team should have been devoid of talent when Sam Darnold got here. So what do we do with that second overall pick? If the coach comes in and he says, hey, I'm riding with Sam Darnold, I'm all about it. I'll believe it once we make a different selection with number 2, because just like we saw with Jamal's going to be a Jet for life until he's not. Odell Beckham Jr., going to be a Giant long term until he's not. So Sam Darnold, what do you do? His trade value's got to be pretty low. You're not getting a whole heck of a lot. Do you hold on to Sam for a year? Does that potentially make the prospects of trading him in the preseason, kind of like what we did with Teddy Bridgewater, build up his trade value, trade him? Does it create too much of a distraction? Do we go out and get a free agent quarterback? There's going to be some options available. Jameis Winston, Dak Prescott, potentially Matthew Stafford. There's going to be some options in free agency. There are going to be some good quarterbacks that are out there. There's more ways than just the first pick to skin a cat. Now, I do think the first pick is the fastest way to change the fortunes of this franchise, because I think we need the head coach. The head coach is going to be big. But with that number 2 overall pick, do we take Penei Sewell out of Oregon, the fabulous tackle? Didn't play at all this year. Guy's going to go top 3 in the draft. His floor is the Bengals. The Bengals will take him if we don't take him at 2. Is there someone that wants to trade up for him? Is there someone that wants to trade up for a quarterback? Do we want to trade down? If we're rolling with Sam, do we just try to surround him with talent? If the plan is to roll with Sam, I think I would prefer that we trade down from number 2, allow someone to come up and get a quarterback or the tackle, one or the other, fall down to 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that realm. I wouldn't be opposed to taking a quarterback, but then you could seriously look at Devontae Smith. You could look at Jamar Chase. There's a lot of good players you could look at. You could look at an edge rusher. You could look at a cornerback. Patrick Surtain Jr. is going to be up there. Maybe that's an option you go with. Do you take the tackle and you have 2 bookends? You have Mekhi Becton on one side, you got Sewell on the other. Now you don't have to worry about whoever it is. Now, if you do that, if you trade backwards, I would like to get a 2022 first-round pick. However we do that, that would be what I'd be trying to target, I think. Because then that gives you 3 first-round picks next year. And if you're rolling with Sam Darnold for this year, I don't think I exercise his 5th-year option, because that's entirely guaranteed due to injury. So if Sam tears an ACL, guess who's on the hook for $25 million? This team is. So I don't think I'm going to exercise his 5th-year option. Do the Jets go the route of extending Sam after this season, a la Mark Sanchez? Now that is what got Mike Tannenbaum fired ultimately, for extending Mark Sanchez after not being able to court Peyton Manning. For me, I'm torn. I'm almost at the point where I would be okay with rolling with Sam, even though in my heart I know Sam's not the guy. At least from everything I've seen the last 3 years, outside of a few awesome throws and like a few good games, I would say 80% of the time Sam Darnold has been bad. It has not been good, and it's not all him. But if you're looking at this whole situation, if you take a quarterback at 2, this franchise, this fan base, and maybe it's just because it's recency bias because it just happened, but this franchise is going to be looking at that quarterback, whether it be Justin Fields, whether it be Trey Lance, whether it be Zach Wilson, and we're going to be looking at him and we're going to say, it's not Trevor Lawrence. We honestly had Trevor Lawrence here. That was it. We had him. And our fan base is going to be spiteful. It's going to be a very, very angry fan base. It's going to be a very frustrating time for our New York Jets. That said, there's a lot of offseason to go. I think the smart move would be to take a quarterback at 2. Now, who do you like there? I watched Fields in that title game. Did not come away impressed. He did have an injury on his hand, so maybe that affected him more than not. He was one of the highest rated high school prospects behind Trevor Lawrence. I want to say he was in the top 10. Trevor Lawrence was 6th overall. I want to say Fields was like 8 or 9. I could be wrong. Maybe he's not in the top 10, but he was high up there, definitely, for sure. Guys, I don't know. I have a hard time looking at this whole team and thinking, I don't know, I'm just deflated. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm deflated. I'm pissed. I'm angry. I couldn't sleep last night. This just absolutely tore me up yesterday. And it is not something that I'm overly fond of. If I had to take a quarterback right now, gun to my head, and I'm looking at the guys that are coming out, I like Zach Wilson. I'm a fan. Kid's got some spunk to him. But man, it's just such a kick in the nads not getting Trevor. And I see Pat Vito says, it ain't over till the fat lady in Jacksonville sings. It's true. We are all going to be big Gardner Minshew fans. I think if Minshew pulls off the victory, if Minshew pulls it off in Jacksonville, because remember, Gardner Minshew, he's dealing with everything that Sam Darnold was just dealing with. The Jaguars have just locked in that first overall pick. And now Gardner Minshew's like, hey, what the heck? I'm supposed to be the guy. This is supposed to be my team. I'm the starter here. Now my whole franchise, my whole fan base is openly rooting against me. Gardner Minshew's going to come out hot. He's going to be upset. And we need to grow and feed on that passion. We need him to come out and beat the Bears. Now, I don't see the Bears losing. I saw how they played. They're fighting for their wild card life. So are the Colts. The Colts are fighting for the division. There's no part of me that thinks either one of these teams is going to lay down for Jacksonville. They're not going to rest starters. This is going to be interesting. I will say this. If Gardner Minshew wins this game, I think all of us should donate money to some type of charity, whether he's got a charity or with that mustache. I know a lot of guys will grow mustaches in the month of November for prostate cancer. If he doesn't have a charity set up, I will absolutely donate every single super chat from the stream after that game to whatever charity we decide to pick. That said, I don't trust these damn Jets. I knew it from the very beginning. Once you see something just nice and shiny that you could have, I know the Jets are going to screw it up. When has it ever worked out in our favor? We have never had it work out in our favor. So what do we do? What do we do? V-Man. Where are you in there? V-Man says... Benjamin. Sorry, Benjamin says, Ryan, hear me out. What if we trade Sam and the second pick to Jacksonville to move up? I would be all about that. I would ask you this. If we were sitting at number 1 and the Jaguars wanted to move up to number 1, would you take their number 2 overall pick, Gardner Minshew? Nope. If we want to move up, if that is an option for us, if there is an option for us to move up from 2 to 1, I don't particularly like it, but if I'm the Jags, I'm asking for number 2 overall, the Seattle first, and a first next year, whether that be the Jets first or the Seattle first. That's the price. You're giving up 3 first-round picks to go get them. The thing that sucks about that is there is no way that the Jaguars, even if they wanted to do that, would trade back until draft day, which means our head coach is not going to know he's getting Trevor Lawrence at that point in time. So for me, trading up is not an option. That's not going to happen. We got all these draft assets to build a stronger team. Let's go. Let's trust Joe Douglas. Let's let him make the picks. If he wants a quarterback, we're taking a quarterback. If he wants to trade down, still take quarterback. I'm good with that. If he wants to move back, say get the 2022 first and still take one of Trey Lance or Zach Wilson, I could think of that. V-Man says Matt likes Wilson, honestly. I trust Joe's decision. I do trust Joe's decision. I think that's going to be a big time factor in all of this. Richard Delgado says, bet. What kind of bet are you trying to do? Because I'm not betting on my Jets. I'm not betting on those Jaguars. It's not happening. Not happening at all. It's just been brutal, boys. Been absolutely brutal. Alex Sheeland, thank you so much for the super chat. He says 2 scenarios. Trade back to draft Zach and Smith. He's saying Zach Wilson and Devontae Smith. Zach Wilson or Devontae Smith. And pray Najee Harris is in the second. Build around Sam for 2 more years. Try to grab. Pray Najee's there to build around Sam for 2 more years and try. Or build around Sam. Sorry. Or build around Sam for 2 more years and try to grab the quarterback from Clemson or Bryce Young as the next 2 best quarterbacks. Multiples. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is a very, very generous super chat. Let me see if I can get you up here on the comment screen. All right. Where is that? Thank you very much. Multiple says, Merry Christmas, Ryan. I know it sucks at the moment, but trust me, we will get Trevor. Multiples, I love the enthusiasm. I wish I shared in the enthusiasm as you do. But yeah, thank you very much for that. And Merry Christmas to all you guys out there as well. I know this is not how we wanted to have this situation go. Alex, going back to your question in terms of the where is it? I'll pull it up in here somewhere. It's so hard to find these little super chats in this. There it is. Okay. So of your 2 trade scenarios, I would like to trade down, get Zach Wilson, Devontae Smith, and pray for Najee in the second. That would be nice. Now, I don't know how you're getting. I don't think Smith is falling as far as we'd like him to that Seattle pick. So that's kind of where I fall on that. I like Zach Wilson, though. I'm curious to see how this sort of plays out the entire draft process. It's going to be totally different than any other year. Building around Sam for 2 more years, I can understand that thought process too. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think if you build this team up and you get it to a caliber of talent like a Chiefs or like a Chiefs for when they drafted Patrick Mahomes initially, when they had Alex Smith still, and you have something like that, and you have a foundation in place for when you do draft your quarterback. I can wrap my head around that. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough for sure to try and think about what we're going to do here. Let's see what else you got in here. I apologize. The little thing that lets me put these comments on the screen doesn't pop up as frequently as I would like, so I'll rattle them off. I'll try to get the name on the screen if I can. Benjamin says Mitch is due for a down game. Jags definitely have a shot. This is huge. If we somehow pull a rabbit out of the hat and we get the first overall pick because the Jaguars beat the Chicago Bears next week, I want Adam Gase fired. I want the interim head coach to bring in and just have every single young player play Just forget about having any kind of person that may want to win a game out there. Just lock it in. That's when ownership and the GM have to step in and make it happen. Alex coming in with another super chat. Says, bam. I mean, we trade our 2 back to like 7 and a second or third for Smith and see if we can grab Wilson later in the first. Oh, okay. So you're thinking Zach Wilson falls that far. I think Zach Wilson has a real shot to go before Fields. I don't think Fields is a lock at number 2. I really don't. I think there's going to be a lot of talk going on as to how the quarterback should fall. Trey Lance is incredibly talented for the 1 year we saw. The thing that scares me with him is it's just 1 year. So, like, does he wind up being a player like Sanchez? He has 1 year of success and then, maybe fizzles out. He's someone, Trey Lance, when I first saw him, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields. I would say the 3 of them, and Trevor Lawrence too. Trevor Lawrence is deceptively fast for his size. The guy's 6'6". He runs like a gazelle. Now, I could see a situation where any one of those quarterbacks, saying outside of Trevor Lawrence, is going to be a much better option for how the NFL is trending compared to the traditional pocket passer. Like we see Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts. These guys just running all over the field, slinging the rock. Guys that can get 100 yards rushing on the ground. When your best player and best athlete is your quarterback, that is lethal for defenses. Absolutely lethal. Sam Roche says, love you, Ryan. Merry Christmas, buddy. You and the boys make following this team bearable. My take is to Joe Douglas as our Trevor Lawrence that we always had. Go Jets. Hey, I am so thankful for the community that we've built up across the Jets YouTube, not just on this channel, but with O'Leary and Green Bean and Jets Media and loyal NY Jet fans and Jet Central and all these different guys from across the YouTube sphere and everyone that winds up hanging out in our chats. It really means a lot. I have a lot of fun with this. My fiance Becca was going a little bit loony for me talking about football so much. So my little outlet to rant and kind of rave with you guys on a weekly basis. It's something I've really enjoyed, and it's been a passion of mine. So it's been fun. So I really thank you guys for all the support through the last almost 3 years. We're coming up on 3 years in January. This channel has been around. So it's been fun that all you guys have been around for all of that. Let me see. I saw a few new members in here. Where is it? Multiples jumping in as a new member. Thank you, Multiples, not only for your very generous super chat, but for joining the first-class community of Jets Talk 24/7. It's something that I very much appreciate. One of the things I'd love to do is make this a full-time gig. And you guys supporting that means the world to me. It really does. Multiples says Jags will beat the Bears. I see that as I'm scrolling through here. I hope so. Multiples. Richard Delgado, thank you so much for becoming another member of the Jets Talk 24/7 family. Very much appreciated as well. We'll have a lot of fun with this. I have some things that I'm gonna do for the members of this channel. I haven't released it yet just because I was supposed to have a conference call today about what I wanted to do. That's going to now be on hold till Wednesday. And then I'll kind of have a rough idea. It may not be exactly what you guys want at this point because of how everything's going with this friggin' team. But I have a few fun ideas for the members that have supported the show. And then even for you guys that, maybe are just throwing a like on the video or something like that. Let's let's talk a little bit about. I got a few more guys. God, you guys are awesome. All right, so Benjamin says, "Hear me out again," because if Mitch sells the next two games, and the Bears miss the playoffs, do you think we can trade Sam to them for a second? I'd be all about that. I don't know if a second round pick for Sam. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Sam and see how much you can actually get from that type of trade. I think Sam's trade value is pretty low, but it seems like a lot of people are still high on him. So maybe if the Jets are just as inept as we know them to be, maybe other people believe in this guy a little bit more than maybe some of us do. So we'll see. I would trade him to a second for to the Bears. I think Mitch is gone after this year anyway. Jordan Ivy says, "I know it hurts, dude, but trust in Joe Douglas. Zach Wilson and Trey Lance are legit. I'm genuinely excited about them. Have some nice pieces to build on." Yeah, hey, look. When you look at the Indianapolis Colts back in 2007, 2008, when they drafted Peyton Manning, how did they build that team? How did they structure it? You have the wide receiver in Marvin Harrison that was drafted 2 years ahead of Peyton Manning. We got Denzel Mims a year ahead of when we're going to be taking a quarterback. That kind of lines up. You have the left tackle. I think his name's Tarek on the Colts at the time. The Jets have Mekhi Becton. Now Mekhi Becton and Tarek were both taken a year ahead of when we're going to take a quarterback. So you have the franchise wide receiver, the franchise left tackle. Then you start looking around, you say, okay, you add the quarterback. Well, then what do you do on the defensive side? We have Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams' pass rushing grade has been getting better and better. This guy is going to be legit. I am excited, really excited for this. So Quinnen Williams. Guess who the Colts drafted shortly after? Dwight Freeney, their edge rusher. Now, we still need the edge rusher, per se, but to have someone who can rush the passer, that's huge. UCF Jaguar, I see, is in the chat, and I jumped into your chat yesterday for when you guys got the pick, and it was crushing. I hate you guys so much right now. I really, really want Minshew to just come out on fire and just throw for like a zillion touchdowns and just give me some hope. Give me hope. UCF Jaguar, why you do this to me? Go Duval your way over somewhere else. Go Jaguars. I'm a Jaguars fan. This is Jags Talk 24/7. Jordan says Zach Wilson, Trey Lance are legit. Yeah, look, I'm excited about that. I think Zach Wilson I'm a little more excited about than Trey Lance, but either one of them would be very good options, and I think the Jets fans will be very happy with this. Guys, I'm going to get to Collins. I said Collins, we're going to start at 8:30. We've had a few super chats and a few members joining the channel, so I want to make sure they get their voices heard. KD says we got 300 viewers, but not many likes. Guys, we got 300 viewers in here. If you're upset about what happened yesterday, if you want to see Adam Gase fired at the end of the season, if you want Trevor Lawrence not to go to the meth kittens down in Jacksonville, drop a like. Drop a like on there. Oh, jeez. All right, what else we got? I think we had another member jump in. Where did he pop in? I'm just going to let that load, and then I'll throw your name up on the screen. Max says the Colts may rest starters. I don't think the Colts are resting starters because they are going to try and go for the division. And that's kind of where I see that right there. All right, where's our member? Max, I saw you pop up over here. There it is. Max Florin, becoming another member of the channel. Thank you so much. Really does mean a lot to me. Now, guys, we have to talk about. Oh, Jeff Loke just subscribed. How do I support this community? Jeff, and anyone who's in the chat that would like to do it, I think it's probably below this video. If it's not below this video, you could go to the Jets Talk 24/7 homepage on YouTube, and there's a little join button. If you click join, there's 3 tiers there. You get different kind of perks with each one. But it kind of helps support the channel a little bit. You get a cool little icon next to your name, and you get some cool emojis. Like when we have the JETS chant. Any of the members that are in the chat right now, drop some JETS for me with the emojis, because I love seeing those pop up. That's what I want to get. I want to get you guys, when we start this thing, a bunch of JETS going, even when we suck. It's depressing, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's jump into some phone calls. Let me just pull up the Google Voice real quick. If you guys don't get your phone call answered, just call in again. I will try to get to it as best I can. I'm going to throw the phone number up on the screen. So the phone number's up on the screen. You guys can call in. You guys get 5 minutes. I may dial it back a little bit more. I might make it like 3 minutes today. You'll have a 5-minute timer because I never changed it. But if you get the 3-minute timer, we'll be able to burn through some questions. All right, who we got on the line? Click to allow your microphone here.
Ed from North Carolina.
To accept. Okay. I've sent the caller to voicemail. Goodbye.
Oh, no, Ed. I tried to pick up your call. Hold on. I'm going to click out of Google Voice and click back into it because maybe my computer hates me right now. This is what happens when I have too many things pulled up on my two screens. I got my one monitor that I'm looking at with all my Streamlabs stuff. I got all my screens over here. And then everything just goes sideways. Guys, if you want to answer the question of the day, the pinned comment in the chat as well as in the description down below. Question of the day, I'm going to raffle off a shirt at the end of this stream. What do the Jets do now, assuming they don't get the number 1 pick? There's a few options there. I think we have, let's see, we had about 70 people answer it before. We're up to about 100 now. Let's see, where's my buddy Leegee? I saw Leegee pop in over here. Let me see if I can get you. Jeez, I gotta find out a better way to do this phone call system because it is. You guys have a lot to talk about. All right, let's. Leegee, I saw your name pop up, so I'll try to get to you. For some reason, this isn't.
Call from.
Scrolling as fast as I'd like.
Rochester.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, what's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit. Hello? Hello?
Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
Hey, what's good, brother? What's on your mind?
You there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's good, brother? What's on your mind? Yeah. Oh, shoot, man. I didn't hear you say, my bad. But, hey, I hate this.
Can you hear me?
So much, man.
I'm clicking music by hitting my little ear button. Can you hear me? Let me see. I might actually have to change my settings.
Let me call back in. Dude, it's breaking up a ton. You're like intro music. Let me call back in. My bad.
Aha. Default microphone. Oh, that'll do it. All right. That's what that's going to be. All right. I apologize. You probably should have been able to hear me there. All right. Leegee, let me see if I can click on your name real quick. Leegee, make sure you hang in there. I'll get you. I just need my Google Voice to stop screaming at me. All right. All right, Leegee, I am calling you. I know it's weird.
Hello?
Hey, Leegee, what's up?
What's up, dude?
Hey, thank you so much for calling in.
Questions.
Yeah, go for it. Fire away.
So an Allen Robinson free agency pickup. What do you think about $20 million, 4 years, and a $6 million signing bonus?
I would be okay with giving him an even higher signing bonus. It doesn't really bother me if we go higher. I do think the $20 million a year number is spot on. I think based on the contracts you saw for like Amari Cooper, I think he's right in that wheelhouse. I think he's a legitimate stud number 1 wide receiver. I would be all for it. I don't know if he's going to want to come here, though. I think he's played with some middling quarterbacks, with Foles, with Bortles, with Mitch Trubisky. I think he's going to want to go to more of a contender. He might take a slightly lesser deal, but I think we're going to have a little bit of trouble trying to reel him in.
I figured we've sucked for 50 years, so, you know. How about Mekhi Becton being snubbed for the Pro Bowl?
I saw that. I meant to bring that up, and I just kind of ranted a little bit too much. Yeah, Mekhi Becton was the highest fan-voted player, and he didn't even get in. And then, did you guys see friggin' what's-his-face? Evan Ingram, the tight end for the Giants, got in. How the hell does that make any sense?
He did?
Yeah,
What?
how does he get in ahead of Mekhi Becton? Now, I know different sides of the conference or whatever.
But what about our middle linebacker, Braden Mann? He got snubbed.
Oh, dude, Braden Mann. No Jets made it into the Pro Bowl. And I think when you're 0-13, 1-13 now, I think it probably,
1-13
you probably
and proud.
deserve. Yeah, I think you probably deserve not to have any players in the Pro Bowl. That said, I do think Mekhi Becton has played like a top 3 tackle in the AFC this year, and I think he got snubbed. I think he absolutely did.
I agree. But I was thinking yesterday, Adam Gase is like that one time where you're picking your nose, you get a booger on your hand, and you're trying to flick it off, and you can't get rid of it. And once you do get it off, you're wondering if it's still there.
Is it stuck on the wall next to me? Is it stuck on the opposite side of my finger?
It needs a mark. It needs a mark, bro.
Dude, that's a pretty good analogy. That's pretty rock solid. Adam Gase is the booger you can't flick off your finger.
Yep. But also, all jokes aside, do you think we should re-sign Brashad Perriman to a smaller contract?
I do. I would give him the same contract he got this year if he would sign it. If he would sign like a 1-year, $6 to $8 million deal, I would be for that. I think he has shown enough where if we have a quarterback with a strong arm, I think you could take advantage of it. For as much hate as we gave Joe Douglas, as much hate as we gave Joe Douglas for not retaining Robbie Anderson, Sam Darnold is not good at the deep ball at all. So it's not like he had any chemistry with Robbie. And with Perriman, I think that you saw how much or how effective he can be with Flacco bombing the ball to him. So I think we're going to look for a strong-armed quarterback. That's something about Fields and Wilson that I really like, and something that Lawrence actually doesn't do that well. I mean, he's good. He's got a decent deep ball, but like I think Fields excels better at it. I think Wilson excels better at it. I don't really know about Trey Lance. I haven't watched enough on him for the deep ball, but I think if we are going that route, I would be okay with giving Perriman another 1-year deal.
Yeah, I see that. Also, if Allen Robinson doesn't want to come to us, which is 100% understandable, I wouldn't want to come to us either. What about Godwin? Isn't his contract up at the end of the year?
So Godwin's contract up. One player that I'd like to look into a little bit is Galladay. I think Galladay's contract's up as well, and there's a
100%.
chance. Yeah, there's a chance that you could see him. I think he wanted to get traded out of Detroit anyway, so it's an interesting situation where you could have a sort of a misfit from one team sort of coming over here. You give him a nice contract. I like Godwin a lot. I'm a big fan of Godwin. I like Galladay. I think Allen Robinson's the guy I'd go for. I think Godwin's probably going back to the Bucs. I don't know. They're going to have to retain Shaq Barrett as well. So they have a few issues on their roster.
I get it. Also, if we don't end up getting the number 1 pick, would you say we pick up Jamar Chase or another offensive lineman? Or even
would I take Jamar Chase? If we stay at 2, you're saying?
Yeah.
I would say I would go with I guess I go with the tackle and take a receiver later in the first. That sucks though. But Luigi, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You've been ejected from the cockpit. All right, boys. Phone lines are open. If you want to vote on our question of the day, the question is pinned in the live chat as well as in the description down below. Now that the Jets don't own the first pick, what should we do? Make sure you vote on that. I'm going to raffle off a shirt at the end of the show if you want to get one of your Just End the Suffering shirts.
Call from
Josh.
to accept.
Hey,
press
Josh. What's up, brother? How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up?
I'm hanging in there. How you taking this loss? Even though it's a win.
Oh my God, I'm so upset. I was crying. I cried for the first time in like years yesterday. I'm not joking.
It
I was
took
so upset.
every part of me
can't-
not to cry. Like I had tears down the side of my eyes when I was trying to like talk to you guys on my post game. I was like, this really sucks.
Crazy. Oh my God. The amount of time I spent watching Trevor Lawrence, watching film, every game, watching his highlights, watching the game twice, breaking down every little thing he does, and it's all for nothing.
It's just all right down the toilet. It bugs the ever-living crap out of me.
Only the Jets now.
Dude, only the Jets. That's the only, like, we just get screwed every which way. And we just can't catch a friggin' break.
It's unbelievable. Well, I got a question. So, first of all, Fields or Wilson at you. I would take Wilson. I think he has more upside. Maybe less ready, but like we don't really no one's NFL ready besides for Lawrence. But I like Wilson has more upside. And here's your player comparison for him. Mine is like he's got a little Mahomes in him, not the upside of Mahomes obviously, but he's like he makes those like no look shovel passes and like sidearm passes and stuff, and a little bit of Wilson and Murray too.
He's got a little bit of I would say he's got a little bit of Kyler to him. I would say he's got a little bit of Mahomes to him. The sidearm passes for sure. He's fast too. He's got some wheels on him.
Yeah, and he's got a huge arm.
He's got a big arm, like big time arm. It wouldn't shock me if he had the strongest arm of like at least the top 4 quarterbacks that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not, it's obviously not a.
It's him and Lawrence probably up there for the strongest arm. I think
you're going to see Zach Wilson. Yeah, I think you're going to see Zach Wilson go too. I think whether it's the Jets or someone trading into our spot, I think that's where he winds up going when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, like Fields hasn't played well against good competition at all, and you can make the argument like, oh, like if he's playing who BYU plays, look at what he does against Rutgers and Michigan State. He tears them up, and even against Penn State, who's awful this year. But like the one good team BYU did play, Coastal Carolina, Zach Wilson wasn't unbelievable, but he played better than Fields played against Indiana or Northwestern. He looked awful.
He looked bad.
Saturday.
Now I will say this: I'm pretty sure Northwestern's passing defense is number 1 in the country, so there is a little bit to be said for that. And I don't know. It's tough when I listen to Kuiper and I listen to McShay. They're always talking about how Fields is the number 2 guy. Like there's going to be a lot of guys, but he's the number 2. So I don't know. I have a lot of tape to break down. The one thing I would say about Wilson that kind of it's not really a concern, but when I was watching different film breakdowns last night, the one thing they were talking about is that he's not super great at anticipating like sort of leaving his wide receiver out to dry. So receivers take note of that. Like there were a few plays where he just like had his guy just almost have his head taken off. Now that said,
yeah, I also saw that. Yeah,
you could find some pretty interesting talent and some interesting sort of ways to utilize him. Like if you get him rolling out to the side where you may not have those sort of issues. And a lot of that's just growth too. He's still a young kid. But I like Zach Wilson a lot.
Yeah, I also like he fits the mold of a quarterback now. What teams are looking for? He's mobile. He's fast. He's got 6'3". He has a good size. But how much does this school concern you? Like BYU, not great competition. And what did you think about his performance against the one solid team he played in Coastal Carolina?
So I'll be honest, I didn't watch his Coastal Carolina game. I'll have to go back and actually like legitimately watch it to give a fair assessment on it. But I think I would say this. In terms of school, there's not really any particular school that churns out like great quarterbacks. I mean, I guess Oklahoma recently with Baker and Kyler, and even Jalen Hurts at this point. There's a lot of, sort of like North Dakota State with Carson Wentz. Now, he doesn't look very good right now. but they turned out, you know,
Yeah.
a pretty good quarterback. That's where Trey Lance is from.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't think. I think the level of competition is certainly something you have to be wary of, but I think there
But-
are certainly. I think there's certainly ways around it, in the pros
How
for
much
sure.
how much time do I got left on the before I
You
get
got
ejected?
40 seconds.
All right. So also like the raw talent with Wilson, just like his ability to throw the ball deep, doesn't even matter about like what competition. He's fast and he can throw the ball really well. So I'll
Mhm.
leave you with this though before I get ejected.
Mhm.
What do you think it would take for move? It's not so realistic, but to move from 2 to 1. And what would you do? What do you think the Jaguars would do? Because I would literally be willing to give up our 2 first-round picks this year, our 2 first-round picks next year, and even like this year's second, next year's second, and even like this year's third and next year's third.
Oh, dude, I can't agree with that. Oh, I'm gonna eject you on that note. You can listen to my answer right here. If I would not give up that much for the first overall pick. I would give up this year's first. I would give up both this year's first, and I would give up. Hold on one second. I would give up both firsts this year, and I would give up one of our firsts next year to go up the one slot to get him. But the issue I have with that is like it's almost the lure for me for Trevor was more so about the ability to get a legitimate head coach and grooming him the right way. If we're moving up to number 1, we're not getting that coach because they don't know that they're actually going to be able to trade up until draft time. So for me, I don't know. I don't love the idea of trading up, or giving up that many picks. But you could talk me into it. We have a bunch of cap space. The best part about Trevor is having the cap space before we actually have to select Trevor at number 1, because then the free agents will come. Then the head coach will come. And then you have all your assets to surround him with talent. So I would say I'm not trading up for the first overall pick. It would have to be a relatively small number for me to trade up, like maybe just giving up the Seattle first, which is, you know, for you to slide down one pick isn't the worst thing. But that said, if I'm the Jags, I wouldn't do that. Like if I was the first pick, if I had the first pick, I would be looking for a haul. I wouldn't be giving up, giving it up for nothing. Alex, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, who do you take, Smith, Waddle, or Chase? As a Bama fan, I'm going with Smith or Waddle, depending on the combine. Are you willing to settle for a quarterback without big wins? I would pray for Trevor or wait for Bryce or I can never pronounce that guy's name. Ugalele. Ugalele. I would say this. I would definitely take any one of those 3 wide receivers. I think any one of them is fantastic. Waddle does have is it an ankle injury that he suffered this year? Chase didn't play. Smith is playing out of his mind. I would be very happy with any one of them. I would be okay with a quarterback without some big wins. I think the physical talent, as long as Joe Douglas believes in it, and it sort of lines up with everything, I would be okay with. They don't necessarily need to have a ton of big wins, as long as it shows like a continued growth. I want to see a positive trend with this. I think part of the problem with my computer is I'm running all this stuff in boot camp because I have a Mac, but I'm running everything in Windows. So I have 100 gigabytes of my terabyte hard drive partitioned for Windows. And Benjamin says, bro, calls ain't working. I know, because I was just answering the super chat. But the calls are coming in. I literally, when I get a ton of calls, like, they all fly through. And there's probably a better way to doing this. We'll see. Maybe Joe Blewett gave me a good idea for somewhere. I think I could get some call waiting. And that would be beneficial, so that way guys don't, like, call once and be like, oh, I can't get through. Click. All right. New caller on the line. Who we got?
Call from
Mike, a.k.a. Multiple.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Mike, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's good, man? How are you?
Dude, thank you so much for the super chat and becoming a member of the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. I'm glad you got in.
So am I, man. I've been watching for a while. I'm trying to get in. 75 times. Finally got it.
Talk to me, brother. What's on your mind?
Okay. First, I believe the Jags are going to win next week because Mr. Trubisky is due a bad game.
I really hope so. I was looking at his win-losses and how he was like playing in the last few games, and I was like, man, it's got to come back down to normal. He's got to come crashing down at some point.
Of course, that's just the way he plays. He got drafted, the number 2 pick? Only playing 10 games. He has like a franchise quarterback. My thing, though, is we're stuck with the number 2. Why not trade back to 4? Maybe get like a hole of picks and try to get either that guy from Alabama, I believe his name's Smith, and Jamar Chase, and maybe either keep Sam or sign Dak if we don't get Trevor.
Dak is someone that I'd be willing to toy with, I think. I like Dak a lot. I don't really like him for $40 million a year. That said, I think if you can reel him in, I think he's going to have a massive chip on his shoulder. He is going to play very angry next year, and he's 100% healthy all the time except for this one injury. So if you think he's not going to re-injure the leg, and then you can now go look at the second pick, and now maybe you take the tackle, or maybe you trade out of 2 and you get more draft assets, and then you surround him with a ton more talent, because we have the draft assets to be able to do this. I will say this. When you pay a quarterback as much as we'd have to pay Dak, that generally doesn't bode well for playoff success, just because you have the inability to really build around that player. Now, is that still the case? Is Joe Douglas a way better drafter than some of the other instances we saw? Maybe. I'm not opposed to Dak. He's an interesting option, and I have to make a video about it at some point because it's something that I think a lot of people are going to start talking about as we get closer to that re-signing point for him.
The reason why with Dak, I can see that, though, is only because we have, correct me if I'm wrong, though, either the most or the second most cap in the league behind Jacksonville. So I can see us signing Dak. That's the reason why I can see that. With Sam, I would only keep him if he turns it around, like somehow. Like he comes out and is able to do something with a real head coach, which I don't even know what the heck we would even get at this point. I was more on like Brady and stuff like that. Like I was more like into the younger coach.
Yeah, I like Brady. I think I don't know if he would take this job right off the bat. I could either see him sitting one more year in Carolina and then jumping at a head coaching job, unless he gets the opportunity to coach with like Trevor Lawrence or something. The guy I'm looking at is Brian Daboll and Arthur Smith. Those would be the two right now, gun to my head, that I'm kind of taking a look at, because Brian Daboll, what he did with Josh Allen and the way that offense is built is perfect for his strengths. When you look at Arthur Smith, he has been able to reclaim Ryan Tannehill from the scrap heap and build a running offense that is strong. And I think Joe Douglas likes that sort of gritty football with the big playability. So I could see either one of those guys coming in here. The issue is going to be, are we now like fourth on the pecking order for teams? I don't really know. Green Bean says he's pretty upset about the whole Dak thing. He goes, no, we're not doing Dak.
I was afraid to hear. There's two people I was afraid of hearing that when we quote so far lost down Trevor, it was you and Green. I got like one or two more things, but I know I got less than a minute.
Yeah, go for it. You got like 40 seconds, so rapid fire.
Right, going quick. What do you think of trading Sam and a second for Zeke? Because I saw that as a rumor.
Ooh.
And
wow.
The other thing, Arthur Smith, I can definitely see him. If we keep Sam, I'll take Arthur Smith, because like you just said, he just rejuvenated Ryan Tannehill when he looked like a bust in Miami. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I would say this. I like Zeke. I'm not trading for him. I think running back is very contingent on the offensive line in front of him, and I would rather us draft Sewell at 2 overall and just build bookend tackles than trading for for Zeke, but it's an interesting option nonetheless. Dak has me intrigued. It just depends on what we're going to have to pay. Dude, thank you so much for the call.
Have a good night, man.
Boom! You have a great night, brother. All right. Some interesting thoughts. Green Bean says take Najee at 33. I like taking the running back in the draft. I don't want to trade for Zeke. Guys, if you want to get in on our poll question of the day, what do the Jets do now, assuming they don't get the number 1 overall pick? All you have to do is answer this poll question and go. The poll question is listed in the pinned comment on the live chat over here, as well as in the description down below. We have over 113 people that have answered the question so far. I'm going to raffle off a shirt at the end of this stream, so make sure you get in on that. Guys, if you're calling in, you don't have to leave a voicemail. You'll know if I pick up the phone because I pick up the phone because it's I get a lot of calls.
Call from.
So you don't have to leave a voicemail.
Rich Fries.
To accept, press.
Rich Fries, what's up, brother? How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, Ryan? I'm terrible. How are you?
Oh, I'm equally terrible. I'm crying myself to sleep day in and day out from here on forward until Sunday when the Bears lose. Fingers
I really
crossed.
hope that happens, but I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm very distraught, and I like to watch your videos to feel good about the Jets. And yesterday, oh my God, it made me feel a billion times worse, as it should feel.
Dude, it was when I went live for that post game. You guys saw raw emotion of just not knowing what to feel, just feeling broken. And then, the first thing that went to my mind as soon as I was, about to start making my 5 takeaway video was the Billy Madison, you blew it! And I was like, oh, my God, this is too perfect. This team sucks. We get
real.
Screwed every time.
They're garbage. This is so Jets. And you know what? I had my hopes so high. I kept stressing out and thinking they were going to blow it. And I want to say this. Adam Gase ruined Sam Darnold, who we thought was our franchise quarterback. Then he ruined our season and makes us feel terrible about it. And then he just ruined our shot at getting Trevor Lawrence. So I have no positive takeaways from this. I love Joe Douglas. I still have faith long-term in the team. But God damn it, we had the answer in our laps.
We had the unicorn.
Horrible season.
It was right there. It was all we had to do was have a mandate from ownership and the GM, and they just say, hey, let's pull the plug on everyone. We're starting the young guys. We're going to start James Morgan. Let's just see what he's got. That would be the way to do it. If the friggin' Bears lose, if that happens and it flips again and the Jets are going into Week 17 with the number 1 pick, I am firing Gase on the spot. I am putting a mandate on there. I am IRing everyone. I'm just I would bring out the practice squad. Let's go. Let's do this. We're clearly in on this. Let's make it happen. I saw Lee the Hitman.
I want to say
there's a guy in the chat that just said I wanted to bring this up. Dak Prescott has more passing yards than Sam Darnold this year, and Dak went out week 4 or 5.
Oh,
that's
God.
brutal.
Well, that's Gase.
Yeah.
Just guys, remember Darnold with a better quarterback Darnold with a better coach can turn things around. It's possible. He's still really young. Just look at the Rams with Jared Goff. He's not a great quarterback, but he was bad before Sean McVay got there, and he took them to a Super Bowl. So I'm not saying all hope is lost for Darnold. I don't know if I'd roll with him going forward. It depends what we're offered in the draft. But I do think we are sleeping on Justin Fields a little bit. Now, one thing, very important, guys, everyone listening, go follow Gardner Minshew on Instagram and Twitter. Hype him up. Give him all your best wishes. Send all the best positive vibes his way. Let's get him hyped up and amped and ready to go fucking kill the Bears on Sunday.
Dude, I want as much fucking energy into this goddamn week for the Jaguars. I want Minshew to be as upset as Sam was, hearing all the rumors of Trevor Lawrence coming to town and the fan base being all hyped up. This, Gardner Minshew gets to come in and play spoiler. And I want it so bad. I will grow a mustache until the draft. If Minshew, maybe I won't do that, but I'll grow a mustache at some point. I can't grow a good mustache just to show my support for Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Everyone show your support. Go on Twitter, go on Instagram, and pray for it. Just like, we're not out of it completely. I don't think we're going to – I can't get my hopes high, but we're not out of it completely. He has done well in the past, so it's still possible. So, guys, go send your support over to Gardner Minshew. And, oh, man, I totally feel you, though, man. I'm scared now about who our coach is going to be.
That's the biggest fear for me. Who do you want? Who do you think's a realistic option at this point?
I have a really tough time deciding on coaches. Honestly, I was living in California when Jim Harbaugh took the 49ers to the Super Bowl. I think he could be a great coach. I know he didn't do great in Michigan, so I don't know. I have no idea.
I would throw
I'd
silly.
be happy with him. I'd go to college ranks.
I would throw silly money. I could hear you. I would throw silly money at Harbaugh to get him to come here because I think he could have success with Sam. But dude, thank you so much. You have been ejected from the cockpit. You guys are saying if the Jets win, or if the Jags win, the Jets should play James Morgan. They should, 100%. Last week of the season, oh, Sam went down with some sort of weird injury. Like, he fell in, like, such a weird way. Sorry, Sam. Lock him up. All right, who we got on the line?
Call from
Frank.
to accept,
Frank, what's good,
press
brother?
1.
How you doing tonight?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to hang in there at least. I was like this close to jumping off my balcony and just doing a swan dive. Can you hear me, brother?
I feel you, brother. Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, dude, how are you feeling?
Not great. I don't know what that our fans on Twitter saying.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm catching like every other word here. All right, I'll try to get you to call back in. Guys, if you've not followed Green Bean, the Jets fan, or Green Bean Jets fan, you'll see him in the live chat over there. Give that man a follow. He just created his own YouTube channel separate from Jet Nation. He's still doing all the Jet Nation stuff, but he has some sort of podcast ideas and some other thoughts that he wants to go in a little bit deeper on his channel. So definitely go support him. Another great Jets content
Call
creator.
from
Chris.
to accept, press 1. To send a voice. Okay. I sent
Chris,
the caller's
what's good,
voicemail.
brother?
Goodbye.
No! Why did you go to voicemail? I don't know why that happens. All right. So let me see if I can get this working again. Throw this little Google Voice up there again. Guys, if you don't get through, you can keep trying. Or I can rattle off. Oh, Frank, I'm sorry. Your cell reception's bad. Womp. Oh, God. I feel bad. You're probably calling for like a zillion times. All right. Phone lines are open again. Remember, if you guys want to get in our vote, there's a vote on the right-hand side. Nope, that side. Over there. A live chat. You'll see the pinned question up at the top if you want to vote on our question of the day. What do the Jets do now, assuming they don't get the number 1 overall pick? We have over 126 people who have voted on it right now. As of this second, 60.3% of people are saying roll with Sam for next year. 1.6% of people are saying sign a free agent. 33.3% of people are saying draft a quarterback at 2, and 4.8% of people are saying trade for a quarterback. Now, I'm assuming the people that say sign a free agent or trade for a quarterback may not be Jet fans. Sign a free agent, I could see. Trade for a quarterback feels like it's probably not too many Jet fans. But drafting quarterback at 2 and rolling with Sam seems like the two most logical answers. Remember, it wasn't too long ago that Sam Darnold was considered a top prospect. So we'll see. See how it all plays out. I see my boy Ali in the chat. Chilling over there. Ali will get you back on the show soon. Might have to go to comment questions just so I'm not making my computer cry. Oh, Green Bean. Let me see if I can get Green Bean on the horn. Looks like he just tried to call in. So Green Bean, if you're paying attention, make sure you pick up the phone call.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Green Bean?
Oh, hey, you're on delay. Let me lower this a little bit. What's up, man?
Oh, I'm trying to hang in there. Dude, talk to me. What did you feel watching that game yesterday or hearing about it? Or like what was going through your mind?
Dude, let me just say, I was trying to do a live stream. I ended up not being able to watch the game, like the first part, and I felt like it was so fine because I thought this was the one safe game.
Sure.
And then I came back, like in the third quarter. I think, the Jets were up 17-3 or whatever the hell it was. And I was like, no way. Like, no way. And then it just, like, so I rush home. I get on a live stream, and it was, the misery was so thick. Like, everybody jumped on and was like, dude, what's happening? It was like panicking.
Dude,
and I just couldn't believe it. So then right after that, I went to your channel and basically watched you for a half hour sit in silence in front of your camera. It was like,
dude, I barely talked.
Oh
that was like, I think that stream wound up being like 18 or 19 minutes total, and it was just me like, I can't believe it happened. Like just
that's all you did. Like I watched for a little while, and I was like, I'm like, I couldn't. Like if I was on there, I would have been sitting right next to you in silence. It was just like I felt dumbfounded. And the crazy thing about it is, man, is like I kept catching myself over the past few weeks, like believing, And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, not to believe. The Jets haven't hurt me in years because I know. But this year, I allowed it, Ryan. I allowed these sons of bitches to make me feel something again. I even watched the Clemson game last week, and I kept thinking, there's my guy. And I was like, stop that. You know what I mean?
I'm right there with you. Dude, I was watching the game Saturday night, and I was like, that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback.
Yeah.
And it all came crumbling down.
Well, you know what, though, Ryan? I want to tell you something. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. There are 2 weeks left in this season, and they're not done finding corridors inside of our souls to hurt us. Okay, like this is how they're not done. This isn't it, and I mean this. They're going to the Jags are going to beat the Bears, and we're going to lose, and we're going to go and then we're going to
That's what's gonna happen. Oh man, dude, that was exactly what I was gonna say. I'm right there with you. The Jags are gonna wind up winning this week. We're gonna be on this fucking high roller coaster, and then it's all gonna come crashing down week 17 again, and it's just gonna be like another kick in the balls, and we're just gonna be the punching bag. That's what kills me. Like we're the punching bag all season for the media. They're saying, "Oh, the Jets can't win anything. They're terrible. Should Trevor Lawrence deny going there?" And then as soon as we win a game, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, now he's going to the Jaguars. Jets are such screw ups." Like,
That's
like,
right.
It burns me up.
And they all make fun of us now. It's
God, I hate it.
We can't win. The only way that we could ever stop this madness is if we actually overcome this and actually become good. We are the favorite punching bag of this league and of all the media, and it's not going to stop, man. Like they love to beat us down. But the problem with that is that the Jets also love to beat us down. Dude, I have a guy. I know you have a really good source. I have a less good, but he's still a source. And then I have another guy who has a really good source. And he told me, that this is what he said. He said, I can't tell you details, but the head coaching thing is not going to go the way you think it's going to go, and Jets fans are not going to like it. That's what
dude,
was said.
I know exactly who you're talking about too, because I think it's someone
You
that
saw that.
right? we mutually know.
Well, I went back door and talked a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
So this is, man. So that you saw that that's not good, man.
Dude,
That's
so basically,
not good,
guys,
Ryan.
what Green Bean's talking about here is there was a post on a forum that we're both a part of, and talking about how this person has an inside source and how the head coaching search is not going to go the way Jet fans want, that ownership is the one making the decision, not Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas will have input, but it will ultimately be the owner's decision, and that Jet fans will not like the decision. Now, I think Jet fans will not like the decision either way. I think it's, short of us getting Bill Cowher, I think there's going to be a contingent of fans that don't like it. So I'm trying to err on the side of optimism with that particular story. Who do you think that hire could be? Like, who is the hire that the Johnsons could make?
This is what I think that is. I think that means, and I hate to even say this, but I think it means Gase isn't going anywhere. That's what I think it means.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, we're going to play back Darnold one more year, and then we're going to build this team up. Because what sucks is if we're not getting the quarterback that a head coach wants, and we're getting like a B coach or a C coach, and we're not getting like the guy, I don't want to see Adam Gase back here. But at the same time, you almost don't want to hitch a new head coach to a quarterback he may not want. Like, there's this weird sort of situation that I could see Gase coming back. I've been talking about it all year. I know you've been talking about it. Matt's been talking about it. We're like, no, this can happen. Like, I'm worried. I think they're going to double down on it, and they're going to want to keep Gase. Gase does not seem like a coach that was coaching for his job.
He doesn't, man. He doesn't seem nervous.
Dude, so get this. In my top 5 takeaways, I'm rattling through all the different things. And like the end of the quarter, when he's not letting clock run out and he's passing the ball, and then the Rams score, it's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Then at the end of the game, he's throwing the ball, so we stop the clock. And like, well, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, maybe he's just a bad coach, or maybe he's legitimately in on this tank and he's trying to get Trevor because he knows he's coming back. Like, that absolutely grinds my gears.
It really does, man. And it's like, at what point do the fans actually say, fuck you, man? And like, stop buying stuff, stop going, like, we're done. You guys don't listen to a thing we say. You never see, like, it's like we've known for years which guys to pick. We've known for years which coach is going to suck. But they keep doing it, the exact opposite of what we all know is good. And it's like, at what point does this madness stop, man? Like, when, and then you got guys like Becton saying, oh, people rooting against, rooting to lose aren't fans. It's like, dude, don't make me hate you, man. I'll get on that train quick. It's like,
I got fired up at Becton. I got fired up at Becton for a little bit. Dude, he was just like, oh, you're not a real fan. I'd be like, hey, guess what? If you don't lose 13 games in a row, I'm not rooting for losses. This is on you, putty, not on me. Like, that's absolutely, that's on the team, that's on the coaches, that is not on the fans.
That's right, dude. We were there the first 5 weeks screaming and yelling. You guys blew balls. That's what you did.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely. I do, now get this.
Have a real team.
Get this. I do, for Becton, and I'm sure he was asked the question, hey, what do fans think, or what do you think of the fans who want you to tank? He said exactly what he should say. Like, he towed the line of, like, not hating on the fans, but very much said, like, hey, you should want us to win, and you should want, like, this. Like, I like what Becton said from a teammate perspective, and, like, saying the right things. Like, you don't want him to come out and be like, oh, yeah, we should have lost. Like, you don't want a loser. I get that.
Right.
But man, Becton had me a little jazzed up.
Talk about it.
Yeah, they should. He should. He's like, hey, look, you know what? We're gonna go out there and we're gonna try and win every game we can. We understand the fans have different.
Right, and it's like exactly. Hey, man, it's like even something like, I don't know, man. They're fans. They can do whatever they want. My job is to come out and try to win. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You know what I mean? Don't call us fake or fucking real fans, man. because I'll hate
yeah.
you, and I'll hate you forever. I still hate John Abraham like it was yesterday. Don't fuck with me.
Dude, John Abraham, oh, God, that was crushing. When he didn't play, that was the Steelers game I think he didn't play in back in 2004
Yes, it
or
was.
5.
That was the Doug Bryan game, wasn't it?
Yeah, he missed, what, 2 field goals, or was it 3? It was definitely the one in overtime and one at the end of regulation.
Well, 2 field goals hit the uprights, if I remember correctly. It was a long time ago, and I was still drinking quite a bit. So, the details might be foggy. But, yeah, that's how that went. But, yeah, I'm still mad at him. Like, I'm still mad at guys, fucking from the 80s, man. Like, I'll hate Becton forever. I don't want to do that. I love that guy. So, and I'll give him this pass. He doesn't know yet, dude. He just got here. He thinks things are, he thinks it's all, this is a fluke season. This ain't no fluke, man. This is us. You know what I mean? So we got to be done with this. But I'm really nervous about the Gase thing. And like you said, man, if they're going to fire Gase and then keep Darnold and not draft a quarterback and all, like, I don't know. It's the same thing as, like, firing the GM and keeping the coach, or hiring the coach first and then hiring the GM. All this stuff we've been doing for the past decade, it's just we really seem stupid, and it's not working. We weren't always like this, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is new. I mean, it's a decade old, but it's not. This isn't what we've always done. It's just, I don't know. So if we do that shit, like if we're gonna keep Sam and force Sam on anybody, unfortunately, it really would probably be best just to keep this guy around and let them all go down together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it sucks because it's weird because, like, it felt like yesterday they called a game that made a lot of sense. Like, we had a lot of quick passes, and it neutralized that Rams defense. And then we had motion. I'm watching guys run back and forth. Sam could diagnose who's in zone, who's in man covers. Like, this is what we've been calling for all season. Like,
right?
Why did it happen now? Like, if at all, like, what? It makes no sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. And, like, look, I really just, like, you've heard me say it a bunch of times, man. Occam's razor is a thought process that whenever there are, more than one potentiality, the simplest answer is usually the right answer. So, like, when you really boil it down, like, there's all these, conspiracies and all these theories we can get into, but the simplest answer is that Gase sucks. Okay, that's the simplest answer, and so that's what I lean on. And I think he's just that bad that, like, even now, like, he's had these plays and maybe Perryman was hurt, so he didn't think he could use them. Whatever his asshole mindset really is, I don't know. But I think he just sucks. But you're so right, dude. What was yesterday? I watched it on. I watched half the game on the compressed games on what is it? Game Day, whatever the hell it is on
Game
NFL,
Pass,
where you get the all 22. Yeah, Game Pass.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like, just like you're saying, I'm like, who are these people? And that's the thing. Like, you wonder why Sam can't read a defense, because we have no pre-snap motions. You know what I mean? Everything's like, really close to the vest. Gase is telling him exactly which guy to throw to. It's like he doesn't have 2 reads. It's just so much crazy stuff. But yesterday it seemed fluid. And it's like, why?
It makes absolutely no sense to me.
Why didn't they stomp our lights out? 45.
They slept on us. They thought they could roll their helmet out and just beat us. It's the same way Seattle did. They were looking ahead to the Seahawks.
They were. This was a textbook trap game, man, wasn't it?
It really was. It crushes me.
So just brace yourself. You got to brace yourself, and you got to talk to all your buddies that are on the chat right now. We got to brace ourselves, man. They're not done hurting us. Don't think it's over. It's not.
No, it's not at all. They are all pros at just, like, it's almost like if you had, like, a really strong, like, Gorilla Tape just stuck on your nutsack, and they could rip it all off all at once, but they're just gonna peel nice and slow, and then maybe they'll start from the other end, they'll tug a little bit, and then they'll meet you in the middle, and then they'll just accidentally put it back on, and dude, it's brutal.
And you're like, is it over? They're like,
oh, I'm done, and then there goes the nuts.
Yeah, we're not even halfway done yet.
Green Bean, I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, look, man. Yeah. I want to say one thing, if it's okay.
Go for it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, 100%.
So I think right after your live stream, I'm gonna have an impromptu 10 o'clock mock, right?
Ooh,
so
I like that.
I'm just gonna do a live stream on Green Bean Jets fan YouTube. I'm just we'll pull up PFN. I'll share my
like
screen, and everybody will do a joint mock draft at 10 o'clock on Green Bean Jets fan.
Ooh, I
YouTube.
like
What do you
that.
think?
Absolutely. Guys, you
Yeah.
should absolutely go in there. I'll be in his live chat as well, so make sure you head over to Green Bean the Jet fan, or Green Bean Jet fan on he's going to do that mock draft, and I want to see where he's going with this. He was all about trading out of that number 1 overall pick before and getting a bunch of picks and all that good stuff. So what does he do with the number 2 overall pick now?
Yeah, let's see what we do. We'll see what the simulator offers, and we'll talk about it, and we'll get input from everybody in the chat. I won't make any moves without talking to anybody. To everybody.
I love it. I love it, dude.
Yeah, let's have a good time. So that's what I'm going to do after you're
Green
done.
Bean, I'll see you in your chat in about a half hour, and then I will also see you tomorrow for our Talking Jets panel.
All right, buddy. Yeah, thanks.
Take
for
it easy,
calling
brother.
back, man. Good to talk to you.
Absolutely. Peace. Ali, I see you over there. I'm just trying to scroll down and find your number. Come on. Let's see if I get you. All right, Ali, I'm calling you right now. This is Ali from Loyal NY Jets fans.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's good, Ali? How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Dude, I'm broken. I'm a broken man. I'm devastated. Absolutely crushed. Is there any positive to anything that has gone on in the last 36 hours?
Bengals are up 17-0. So
Oh, that's interesting, I guess.
We can't get past second pick if they win tonight. So that's plus.
Hey, silver lining, right? Like, there's an outside shot. The Jets beat the Browns and the Patriots. So, if our floor is the second pick, that sort of helps.
That kind of helps.
Oh God, dude, losing Trevor, like the biggest part for me in it sucks losing Trevor, but I'd almost be okay with it if Trevor Lawrence wasn't the quarterback coming out this year. Like, let's say Zach Wilson or Justin Fields is the top quarterback. If the Jets still had one, they attract the best head coach possible, because that guy can take whoever he wants at quarterback. And then at that point, the free agents before the draft know what the plan is. Like, hey, look, here's what's going on. This is what we're thinking. And you can get them on board. Losing that first overall pick leaves you in such a weird flux, because you don't know who your head coach is going to be. You don't know if you're holding on to Darnold. You don't know if you're going to trade back. You don't know, this game hurt us on multiple levels.
I mean, I just had my live stream as well, and this is what I said. This Joe Douglas is going to be judged on this offseason, because this is the most important offseason, because he has to make those tough decisions. He's going to have to make a coaching hire. He's going to have to see if he wants Sam Darnold to stay, and if he go and take a shot at Zach Wilson if we do get the second overall pick. And, he's got to make so many decisions that we got to hope that he makes it. I trust Joe Douglas. I know you do too. But again, it's just, I don't know, man. I knew it. I was telling everyone, channel, do not fall in love with Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Do not, because you don't do that until week 17 because you're a Jets fan.
That's exactly
really
right. I fell victim to it. I was like, for the last probably 5 weeks, I've been so on board with Trevor Lawrence. I was like, you know what? This is happening. Like, hopefully it all goes well. And the Jaguars almost won like 2 other times prior to this. So, like, they have the ability to do it. It's just like, when I look at this team, I look at the Jets and I look at the Jaguars, I don't think there's any way the Jets beat the Jaguars in a matchup one-on-one. Like, if you play them together 5 times out of 5, Jets are probably losing 4 of those times. And then, same thing with the Rams. I don't know. I guess if we could beat the Rams, the Jags can beat the Bears.
No, 100%. I feel like I said this on our stream when I was on your stream. I said the Bears are the week that we got to look at. That Jaguars can win. Minshew's gonna be fired up, man. He's gonna be fired up, and he's gonna play the best game of the season for him, and see if they can pull it off. Because Mr. Trubisky is bound to have a bad game. He's bound to have a bad game, and it's just a fact, because he always has good weeks and then he collapses. And especially against the Jaguars. Jaguars have been in a couple games, besides last week where they got demolished. Previous week, they were in many games. They were down to the wire. They were competing, and they're still going to compete. I mean, Minshew's fighting for his quarterback job. Maybe that's why we won against the Rams. Sam Darnold is fighting for his spot as a quarterback for the Jets, and he's pretty much doing an audition for 31 other teams. So like, you gotta put that in perspective because Minshew's in the same boat. He's trying to find if he's gonna be there for the Jaguars next year or not. Is he gonna find another home? He needs to do whatever he can to do that, and he's not even thinking about tanking like the Jets players are. So and that perspective.
I don't blame the Jets players for going out and fighting hard. It's like what killed. I'm more mad at the Rams for just allowing this to happen. Like they should have beat us soundly. They were 17-point favorites, and we're in your building. We're literally like giving this to you. Like I understand we played a pretty solid game yesterday, but we scored 3 points in the second half. Like that's the reality of the situation. Like we had the typical game we had. We score on the first possession. We got lucky with the interception from Hall and, just sort of getting the block punt. Like, these are fluky things. These are not things you can kind of plan on happening week in and week out. And we still almost blew it at the end.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when McVay on that fourth down called that really, like, I don't know what he was thinking on that play call. I was like, dude, you need 4 yards. And you're throwing a deep down the field. That has
third and 4 and 4th and 4. Both downs, 3rd and 4 and 4th and 4. Both long passes, like 15, 20 yards plus. Just when you're in field goal range. Like, I understand it's a far field goal. But, like, the guy's an NFL kicker. Like, give the guy a shot. Let him boot it.
I mean, like, Cooper Kupp is probably one of my favorite players, a wideout. Mm-hmm. In the league, and he was open most of the game. Get him.
Yeah.
Like, just literally, if he does a slant, he gets the first down. Literally. That's what he is. And
dude,
it's terrible that McVay cannot see that.
Goff has got to be one of the worst quarterbacks in the league that just plays on, like, a really good team because he was, even his, like, good passes were like ducks. It did not look good.
Before the season started, I said that the Jets will win this game against the Rams. That's when I thought the Jets would have like 6-7 wins. But because of Goff. Because Goff sucks. Like, Goff is not a good quarterback. He just got paid because he went to the Super Bowl, and he got paid the money. And he's just in a good system, and that's what it is. That's what he is. He's not a good quarterback. He just has weapons all around him, and that's how he pretty much does. He pretty much is a 10-yard type, just throw it there. Like, I do that when I was in high school. Like, that's what I can do. Like, anyone can do that, and you just can't make a big play. He just can't.
Yeah, it's just it kills me because I'm watching him and I'm like, is that really like the answer? Like, it's like, it can't be. He's just, I don't know. He'll have games occasionally, and I was right there with you when I'm looking at the schedule at the beginning of the season. I'm looking at games that we could possibly win. Like the Rams game was one I was like, you know what, the Jets actually match up relatively well with the Rams, I thought. And then with the Browns, I also thought, hey, Baker can have hot and cold games. Now they're playing out of their mind. They're definitely playing better than we are. Everyone's playing better than we are except for the Jags. But there were a lot more games that if we played how we played yesterday, we beat the Raiders then. We would, if we played how we played yesterday and how that game was called and the motion we saw in the offensive, the wide receivers going back and forth and the little, I don't want to say RPOs, but like the different things that we actually like threw wrinkles into this offense. We could have won some games this year. Like this is what fans have been calling for all season, and we see it at this point in the year. Like, it made no sense to me why it waited this long.
It's Adam Gase as a head coach. That's as simple answer as that.
Did you hear Green Bean's comment? Do you think Gase?
What comment?
Do you think Gase could possibly be back next year?
Do I think Gase is going to be back next year? No.
Dude, I'm not 100% sure. Like, it scares the ever-living life out of me. Gase has a way about it, just hanging around, getting his way, getting people sent away, and like, I hope he's gone because we are not going to attract any free agents.
I have that feeling too. I actually tweeted that today, and then Connor Hughes tweeted on my exact tweet, and he's like, he's 100% gone. So I feel like all the reporters are pretty much saying he's gone, and that's a lot saying from the reporters. If the reporters stay quiet until they ask who you know, and Connor Hughes, I know he doesn't say anything until he knows something, and yeah, he probably does. So I feel like he is, because he literally said Jason's not coming back next year. There is 0% chance. That's what he told me.
That makes me feel so much better. I like Connor Hughes a lot. Him and Samini are my two favorite Jets beat writers.
Yeah, they're probably the best ones. Samini gets a lot of hate, but I like Samini.
Yeah, I see. I think some of his stuff I get a little irritated with, but not in like a bad way. It's just more of like I have to go to ESPN.com to see like the rest of it. But like I do like him. I think he's a legit reporter. He seems like he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders. I'm so glad Meta's gone. That guy was fucking terrible.
Didn't you make a video about my name?
I did. Oh, dude, I had people like messaging me for the last like week and a half, or whenever he lost his like Jets beat writer status or whatever. They were like, "Oh, are you gonna make a video on him?" I was like, "Nah, dude, the guy lost his status. Like, fuck that guy. I'm not giving him any more airtime. Like, I'm out of here."
Yeah, I'm like, so people were like asking me because I was at training camp and I met all these guys. I met Connor Hughes, Samini, Manish too, and like they're like, spill some tea, and I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna fuel the fire more than anything. He already lost his job. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm only 20 years old right now. I'm trying to make a life out of this, like out of this reporting job. I'm not gonna say anything because like he has said some stuff, but I'm not gonna say what it is. But he was nuts. He was nuts.
Yeah, you keep everything tight-lipped, and you do the right thing by your sources, by the integrity of the position. I completely understand it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, back to the Jets though, bro. Like, so my mom, she saw. So I was at my brother-in-law's house watching the game, and my mom called me, FaceTimed me, and she knows nothing about football. She has absolutely no idea. And she was just like, yes, the Jets won. And my face was literally just like sad. Like I had a frown on my face, like literally the entire time. And she's like, why are you sad? Why are you? I'm like, we lost on Trevor Lawrence.
Dude, how many messages and like text messages, DMs, how many messages did you have? Like my phone exploded yesterday. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
I didn't look at my DMs until this morning because I didn't want to deal with them.
Dude, you got what, 35,000 people on your Instagram?
Yeah, I got over like 100 DMs.
Oh my god.
I lost like 100 followers. And then some guy on my Instagram was like, I'm unfollowing all Jets fan pages because you guys made us lose. I'm like, what?
It's like, wait, it's not me. Like, it's not me, please. That's pretty funny.
I was literally scratching my head. I'm like, is this an actual comment? Like, is this someone's actual thought process that he thinks Jets content creators are the reason? I'm like, dude, we're the ones who have to come the next day and talk about this Jets.
Dude, we lay our heart on the line. We tell everyone, like, hey, this is what it is. This is everything that, like, the beat reporters may not say, or that the team may not say, because you can't say certain things when you're on the team. But like, I can mouth off it. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I got my own channel. I'm not gonna get fired from this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can say whatever I want on my own.
Oh yeah.
So, like,
Ollie, listen, I'm gonna. I got about 10 more minutes, so I'm gonna try and jet through another call or two. But brother, we will definitely have you on soon. I gotta get you on again.
Yep. All right.
Take it easy, brother. Peace. All right. I'm going to try and get through one more call. Guys, we still have some more time if you want to answer our question of the day. What do the Jets do now, assuming they don't get the number 1 overall pick? The question is pinned in the live chat as well as in the description down below. So if you want to check that out, make sure you click on that. We have nearly 140 votes. I'm going to give away a Just End the Suffering shirt at the end of this stream. So if you want to hang in there and do that, I will be raffling that off. How many likes do we have on this? We have like 230 people or so, roughly. We actually have across all platforms, I think we were over 300 basically the entire time between Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So kind of cool. I appreciate you guys. The Facebook crowd and the Twitch crowd, the guys that are, just like a dozen of you. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out and listening to everything going on over here. Lame Cactus goes, you should call Eli. I only have a handful of names in my little voicemail Google Voice thing. And Ali's one of them. I started adding the guys that join a particular tier of the Jets Talk channel, so that way when I do see the name flash up, I try to give him a ring back if I can. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to stop the call-ins. Call-ins have ceased. We are going to go through the live chat in the side. I'm going to I'm going to go see what questions you guys got going on over here. Let's see. So this is an interesting comment. Combatage says, we gave CJ Mosley so much money. He still has 2 more years until he is guaranteed nothing. So we can't cut him and no one will trade for him. Yeah, that's the issue. His contract is brutal. I think we can get out of it after 2022. I think it's either a year. I think we save a little bit of cap money after next year, but I think it's 2 years is really when you're looking at it. I hope he comes back strong, but when you sit out for 2 years, basically, I mean, you think he probably played, a game and a half, if that, last year? That sucks. Not to mention he had some issues with, the passion he had, the fire, rekindling that fire to play. That crushes me. I'm not crazy about this. Multiples says, it's crazy right now that Trevor is gone. Don't put that evil on me, Multiples. We still got a shot. The Jags could win against the Bears, and we have a shot. Because I would love nothing more than UCF Jaguar popping in on my live stream with me just belly laughing at him for blowing the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. Boys, we got to keep our fingers crossed. It's not over yet. It looks bad, but it's not over yet. We got some time. NY Jets 24 says, Cincy is beating Pittsburgh. Anything is possible on Sunday. Maybe the Bears will choke. That's what we need. We need a Mitch Trubisky style game. And I don't know if we want to. Should we send the money to Trubisky for choking, or should we send the money to. I think we should send the money to Minshew. If Minshew pulls it out, I really like Gardner Minshew a lot. He is a lot of fun to watch. And just the whole, the bravado of him. The mustache. He looks like he should be wearing, he looks like he would walk out in public with a jockstrap on and just, run the world. He's the epitome of, a barstool sports quarterback. That's what I see. Let's see. What are you guys saying? So, Bigus Dickus says, the worst part is that only the Jets would go 1-15 and still not get the first overall pick. This is something, if you guys don't know, the Jets, or Jaguars for that matter, I guess the Jets will be the first team to go 1-15 and not earn the first overall pick. A lot of years, you can win 2 games, 3 games, and get the first overall pick. Very rarely. In fact, it's only been done twice where you needed to win no games to get the first overall pick. Now it's just 1 win. That's tough. That sucks. That's incredibly frustrating on so many different levels. John Pisano says, draft Sewell, sign Thuney, and one of Robinson or Galladay and run it back with Darnold. Thoughts? I'm not opposed to running it back with Darnold. it's a very interesting and compelling argument that I think holds a lot of weight to it. I don't think you necessarily have to go quarterback at 2. Look, I'm not sold on Sam Darnold, but if the new head coach coming in wants Sam Darnold, I'm okay with it. I could roll with this because maybe the new head coach says, hey, look, I'm going to roll with Sam Darnold. If you guys are cool with me doing this, if it doesn't work out, we're drafting my own quarterback. I could see them do that. I could see them go that route. Let me see if I could find Steve's comment. I don't think I'll be able to do it. So Steve Rose says, Douglas' master plan is to sign Carson Wentz. Would not put it past Marrone to win this one. Shake my head. I want no part of Carson Wentz. That contract is atrocious. He has not played well. He is not healthy. When he is healthy and he's playing well, that's a totally different situation, but it's just too few and far between. He's Sam Darnold with a big contract. Like that's someone I'm not touching. If I'm looking at guys that are already starters in this league that or maybe not starters, but guys around the league, if Mariota was on a 1-year deal, like he's got another year in Las Vegas, Mariota is an interesting player because his style of play right now is very similar to like a Kyler Murray, a Watson, Mahomes, like the running style quarterback that really makes you think. I thought he played really well for the Raiders. Stafford is another one that people are going to be talking about. Huge arm, just been stuck on a bad team. That would be a player, if you could get him. Talk about someone who could take advantage of a cannon of an arm. Perriman, Mims, Vincent Smith, Jeff Smith, whatever other 4-3 guys we have running around out there. There's some interesting options, for sure. Then you got the rookies. So you got like Zach Wilson and a whole bunch of other potential people. Oh, man. Ed Stewart, my boy, says, Jets have a history of doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. It's always been a trend. Tell me about it. I've only been a Jet fan now for 31 years. 25 of which I was actually cognizant of what was sort of going on. So, man, this has been brutal. It's been a terrible, terrible season. What else you got in here? Billy McBride says, what do you think about Trey Lance? I like Trey Lance a lot. I'm a big fan of his. My biggest fear with him is that he's only played in one college season. And, I mean, he's a boom or bust prospect. He's someone that could really... I don't know if that's a gamble the Jets should be making. But I think he's the type of player that could go to a team that needs a quarterback that's sitting in the mid-teens like the Patriots that could have a shit ton of success. Like, I like Trey Lance a lot. All right, guys. We're headed towards the end of our show, so I want to raffle off this shirt. We had 140 people get in on this vote. I think it was 140. Let me just got to reload this. And then, all right. So, guys in the chat, I want you guys to give me a number 1 through 20, and that'll be how I choose our winner of today's hat, shirt, or mug. Probably a shirt. Going to be a Just End the Suffering shirt. So we'll see what you guys pick. Let's see what number you guys throw in there. Oh, we got Ravens fans. We got Seattle fans in the chat. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Seattle fans, you're welcome for giving you guys the division and ruining our first-round pick from you guys. Very angry. Oh, man, we got a bunch of numbers in there. All right, I see a bunch of 14s. Let's roll with 14. 14 is a good number. All right. 1, 2, skip a few. All right, so today's winner is going to be D. Vieira. D. Vieira, reach out to me, and I will get your information. You can reach out to me on the Flick chat if you want. That's the easiest way to probably get in touch with me. D. Vieira, you have been the winner of our shirt giveaway. I will give away, you know what? I'll probably give away a shirt tomorrow too for the Talking Jets panel. So Green Bean's going to go live over on his channel, Green Bean the Jets fan. So make sure you head over there and see what he's got going on. I'm going to jump over there now and hop into the chat. Hopefully he hasn't started everything over there yet because I want to see how he handles this this situation. But guys, my name is Ryan. I've been your pilot. It's been a sad, sad last day and a half. Make sure you hang out tomorrow with us, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We're going to be talking Jets, me, Green Bean, and Matt O'Leary. Let's do that. Let's get your feelings on everything here. Guys, my name's Ryan. I've been your pilot. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. We'll get through this together. Jets.